I'm hungover, and I'm depressed. We're dressed in all black right now, kind of. We're dressed in all black right now to commemorate. I am slightly black as well. I couldn't do the 100%, I'm sorry, Norbert.
Why is everyone black?
Oh my God.
For a day, for an event that has truly sideswiped me. A funeral for Jurgen Klopp managing my football club. And so I said I could have been doing weddings instead of funerals if it wasn't for the knee injury. Guys, it's a sad, sad day. It's a sad, sad week. I'm not even gonna lie. We might even have to bring croquet out for the entirety of the calendar year. I just can't even bring myself to do the voice today. Because Jurgen Klopp has announced that he will be stepping down as Liverpool manager come the end of this season. 2023-24 is going to be his last campaign managing the Reds, being the gaffer, the main man at Anfield. I'm not even going to lie, lads. I've forgotten what it even feels like to need a new manager. A guy with the middle name Norbert has a stranglehold over me. And of course he announced it when I'd already made FTW. I'm not gonna lie, I've been struggling to cope with the news. On Twitter especially. The Twitter sex bots now is not the time. Read the room, Sarah, come on. Honestly, if I'm left depressed, then I'm sure the players are gonna be as well. Darwin Núñez is getting emotional after someone translates the news into Spanish for him. Luis Diaz has had another parent taken away from him. Thiago put his pelvis out just thinking about the news. Meanwhile, it probably wasn't the best idea to tell Diogo Jota whilst he was 2-1 down on weekend league. That's why Mo Salah came back from AFCON, mate. He's not even done his hamstring at all. Think about poor Wataru Endo, man. You got a feel for him. He's going back to a complete shit show when he comes back from the Asian Cup. Dentists in the local area, they'll be gutted as well, having lost Jurgen Klopp and Bobby Firmino. Big clients in the space of a year. And even the Scouse nightlife will never be the same.
I will leave the club.
Now, why exactly is he stepping down? It's really come out of the blue. Not a single person could predict this one coming. Well, he said basically to kind of condense this down that he was feeling very burnt out. You know, he's been managing at the highest level, winning trophies, winning silverware, getting into finals, leading an extremely intense football club in a very intense manner for, you know, almost a decade, and that was having an effect on him, and that he was basically just tired. And I hear him on the tiredness front, you know. There's only so much crying you can take in one day.
It is that I'm running out of energy.
No wonder he's tired out. This is how he's celebrating every match at full time. 50% of his mental capacity is spent on trying to spell Zabojlai right every week. The crazy thing is as well that even, I think, January of last year, when, you know, interviewed and asked about how long he could see himself managing Liverpool for, he said like another 9 or 10 years. He was thinking of doing a Sir Alex Ferguson. That's until Darwin Núñez came along. That Don's taken about 20 years off his life expectancy. That Tottenham game where Luis Diaz's goal got disallowed for offside, that's genuinely had an effect on his mental health. If we're being 1,000,000% honest with you, he's seen Kevin De Bruyne come back to training and realised that his time is done. Speaking of Manchester City, at least Pep Guardiola's going to be delighted knowing he's got the next 10 Premier Leagues wrapped up already. Oh man, Mikel Arteta, Arsenal versus Man City title races are going to be some of the most one-sided things we've ever seen.
Brother,
How am I meant to focus on the Russian front lines with all this news going on? Yeah, so basically, man, honestly, I'm just still thinking about Jurgen, bro. I can't believe, like, who do we even get in to replace him? Oh, for fuck's sake, Jermaine's died. Hang on a second. Meanwhile, on the other side of Manchester and at United, it was a beautiful summer's day.
the breeze is stupendous.
Interesting timing from their Twitter admin, I'm not gonna lie. Bit unnecessary to turn up at an Ops funeral like that. I'm glad United fans are happy, man. They can celebrate 8th in the league, but Norbert's depressed. Eric Ten Hag delighted at the fact that an era has actually ended before his. And honestly, you don't understand. Like, Jurgen Klopp just gives off that, like, dad energy. You can't really say that anymore. It's been ruined by the sensual connotation. He gives off nice uncle vibes, yeah. It's like, actually, you know what it's like? It's like a dad that's adopted you, and he saved you from an abusive and dangerous household that has Jay Speary and John Joe Shelby in it. Gone from all the positive times that we've had under his leadership, and now he's doing press conferences in a very different setting.
And who had the idea to do the press conference here?
But let's talk about it a little bit more. So basically, he's run down, drained, and kind of, you know, running out of energy in terms of energy that he can dedicate to managing Liverpool Football Club. And 9 years is a long time. I think people will compare it to like Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, and the fact that they were able to manage United and Arsenal respectively for so so long, but ultimately, for a reason, those things are so rare. You don't see a manager managing a club for 17 years anymore. And ultimately, if you know in yourself that you can't dedicate the full amount of energy required to manage the club and manage it well and continue to do that for years and years, then I really do respect his decision to actually make that hard choice and say, you know what, I can't do this to the level that I would want to. I'm gonna pack my things and get out of here. It doesn't make me any less depressed though. The amount of times I've said I'm gonna end it all today alone, pretty high now. A lot of people have said that the timing is very strange as well, comparing it again to when Sir Alex Ferguson announced that he was going to be retiring. It was, you know, when a title was already wrapped up and there wasn't really anything left to play for. Whereas here, we're right in the business end of the season. It's right at the end of January. We're in a title fight. A quadruple is on the cards. And I get that. I saw someone say that it's an ego thing from Jurgen. I mean, that's just not true, is it, realistically? I mean, you could say the same thing about Sir Alex Ferguson, you know, when he decided he was going to leave the club. Yes, it was right at the end of the season. There wasn't a huge amount of pressure behind it, but also he left the club completely in the shit, apart from giving them a character reference on David Moyes. The squad completely falling apart, aging to a ridiculous degree that made it impossible for anyone to take over and take over well. Jurgen Klopp has announced this with a long way between now and the end of the season, a full 3 months between now and the end of this campaign to find someone to replace him, and then obviously pre-season as well. I wouldn't want it to get to May or June and then him decide that he's going to step away, because then we've got to bring in a new manager, integrate them, and obviously, you know, for them to work out how they want to manage the side, who they want to bring in, all in the space of like a month and a half. So I actually like the fact he's done it now. I know maybe it adds a bit more pressure, but these are professional athletes. I don't really honestly think their outlook is going to change that much on a Carabao Cup final versus Chelsea, whether Klopp said that he's going to leave outwardly to the media or not. Either way, some of my fondest memories, of course, under Klopp's leadership. You know, it's been easily our most successful period since I've been alive. A Premier League title, breaking the duck finally. A 6th Champions League, that unbelievable year where we took like 103 points out of a possible 105. Premier League, a Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, and we even got to see Nat Phillips and Reece Williams start at centre-back together for like 4 months because everybody had broken their knee. I would say, like, in terms of, you know, the Liverpool era that we had under Klopp, it was also just fun. It's been so enjoyable. Even the bad times were just funny. Jordan Henderson playing at right back. And in that season where Van Dijk had to install a new knee, we still got Champions League. The guy genuinely produced some actual heroic displays. Going toe-to-toe with Man City, I know we only won 1 league in comparison to their like 5. We missed out on the league by 1 point twice. I know we're pretty well funded. You know, people always talk about how we signed Van Dijk and Alisson for big money, Gakpo, Diaz as well. Certainly in the beginnings of this Liverpool era under Jurgen Klopp, it was done in pretty humble circumstances. You know, finding relative bargains in Mo Salah and Sadio Mane. And to do that up against the endless funds, you know, of Pep Guardiola, that super combination, one of the world's best managers and then one of the most rich clubs in the world, you know, is so impressive. And even, you know, we got to 2 other Champions League finals in that time as well. Raises, though, an obvious question of who is going to replace him. And I think as soon as the news came out, everyone's immediate response was Xabi Alonso, because he's doing wonders at Bayer Leverkusen. He's tactically unbelievable. Like, if you watch Bayer Leverkusen, he's got that aura to him. Obviously, he's a former Liverpool player, and I like it. I love the idea. Slightly not unproven, but he's not been managing for a long period of time. So obviously, a little bit of wariness may be there, but he's doing a great job. The only thing is, tactically, it's not going to be the same whatsoever. Managerially, he's not the same, really. But to be honest with you, if you squint your eyes, like, closed enough, he kind of looks like Klopp if you put glasses on him. Stage 1 of grief is just like denial. Stage 6 is just completely seeing things. Another man in the mix, of course, another former Liverpool player turned manager, Steven Gerrard. Not quite doing as well in his managerial career right now, to be honest with you. Mo Salah will be out of the club as quickly as possible if he sees Steven getting a tour of the training complex.
Go back to yacht.
And Gerrard has even offered himself to the club to try and help take over till the end of the season. FSG were not answering his calls.
And I went, fuck off, and put the phone down.
Fuck it, should we get Roy Hodgson back in for one last ride? Imagine him walking into the stadium with Paul Konchesky and Stuart Downing again. I'm gonna be so depressed, by the way. I'm gonna actually be so sad if we go back to like the Kyriakos era. Of course, it does mean as a club, I think there is a little bit more pressure to achieve come the end of this season to try and win another Premier League title, really, if it's gonna be Klopp's last. I don't think as much, as I said, I don't think there's really pressure on the players to do that, but I just think as fans, it now becomes even more important, almost necessary, to come away from this season with something. We're leaving here with something. It would just be so nice, you know, as a send-off for one of the club's most decorated managers to win something big again in his final season. But yeah, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really sad. This is a tough one to take, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the news. I think I saw it like 10 minutes after it came out because I was sorting out a different video, and my heart genuinely sank. I had to sit down for like 20 minutes. Which sounds so sad, like, to anyone who doesn't understand football. Yeah, it just feels like family. But yeah, man, wishing Jurgen the best, honestly. What a guy, what a man, what a manager as well. And I hope he does get that break, that bank holiday that he was asking for, man. He just wanted, like, 3 days off. But what do you make of it? Who should Liverpool hire as their next manager? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help with my misery, feel free to like and please do subscribe. It really does help me out. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. It hasn't at all. I'm not even gonna lie. Goodbye, man. I can't do this anymore.